Metal Gear fans are eating good, literally snake eating. Metal Gear Solid Delta has had a bunch of reveals, and today we're doing the translation to the gameplay section of the Hotline Metal Gear show that just took place at Tokyo Game Show. We're going to be seeing gameplay, so if you want to see that, it should be good. And I want to explain some things that I wasn't sure they were talking about because I needed the translation. It took a lot of work to get the translation, guys. So I'm so excited to give this to you. Before we do, I'd have giveaways. All you got to do is leave a comment and you have a chance to win a Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater copy. We're going to get multiple copies. So just get in there. And when the time comes, we'll select you. And then when the game releases, we'll get you a copy. All right. Now, okay. First things first, I did a breakdown on my impressions, but we're about to see some details directly from the producers. As you can see, the screen was changing colors, but it is in the new style, which is the amazing, more realistic graphics upgraded. And so one of the first things that they talked about was that this menu, and just like a lot of other things in the game, will have a variation. So you can basically play it in the new style or the legacy style, and that will have some features that will be a little different. And so that's pretty cool. I mean, even in the menu, I didn't expect that, to be honest with you guys. But yeah, very cool. And at the moment, they only have 2 difficulties because, again, this is just a demo. But hey, why not? We're going to go down the list of things that they talked about when it comes to this. You know, I love the fact that that is there, that they allow you to have those titles, and the difference, if you want to go stay with the classic, then that's very cool, in my opinion, personally. I want to see more of that. They talked about the graphics. They said that this demo here is strictly just to show off new features. Okay, he said he didn't want to just go play action and finish a mission. He wanted to show new features. And one of the new features was the graphics mode. He said that there's going to be multiple modes for this: performance mode and quality mode. And we've already confirmed this, but he said that, you know, it's going to feel very different and prioritize. And then you have the very cool new features, which is the animations and different things that they've upgraded at the same time. So it's going to be a blend of both for you guys. And that's awesome. He starts getting into some of the important things that I think a lot of us were asking, myself included, with the radio and the camo. Those are 2 big features. And the radio, you can quick tap basically and instantly get into the radio and call someone, instead of having to select the button, get into this menu, and then select somebody you want to call. So the fact that he's thought of this, and probably somebody like me who's played the game a lot, he's like, hey, let's get these guys something easier. And the coolest thing was that you can actually fast forward this, which is something that's in the original, but they said that now they have a combination system where you can skip it, or you can skip to the middle of it all and get to a specific spot and then go from there, as well as the confirmed ability to just skip a cutscene if you wanted to, and things like that. And so that is something that, you know, we've kind of had in one way, but they're adding new elements to that I thought was very nice and interesting. He also talked about being able to pause in the middle of the cutscene so that you can go to the restroom or something like that. And that's pretty cool, I guess. And then he started getting into things about the mission and the HUD. He explained that the HUD is changed a lot, as you could tell. And this has been controversial in my comments, by the way. In the middle, the health is there, when usually it's on the top left, right? As we know, in the original days, it was top left. And that's kind of what I'm used to. I'm not gonna lie. I don't care for like little changes like that. I feel like I can get used to it. But he said that you're able to change the HUD. You're able to turn it back to the legacy style. Legacy style is going to have the original HUD where it's going to be on the top left and so on. But if you're playing in this brand new version, you're going to get what you're seeing today, which is the, you know, modern version, not the legacy version. So I thought that was cool. The fact that we got the options, you know, and not having to stay stuck on one or the other for those who really feel like, hey, I want to put it here. I like it this way. I think it's okay at the bottom. You know, I'm used to the older way, but it's a new game. So I don't know. I'm going to try it all new when I first play, guys, because this is why we're playing, right? Like, to try it out. But so that's cool. And I think the HUD thing, you know, we have to test it ourselves and see what's allowed and what's not allowed. And as far as the compass, I talked about this on my breakdown. The compass is also a new feature. He said you can't use that in other items, that you got to be, you know, careful with that and use it sparingly. But he felt it was an important feature to be able to know where to go and to track things when you're lost and so on. And I thought that's cool. I don't feel like people will get lost. It's a pretty linear game. But the thing is, I am such a veteran that I don't think I should question that. I would like to hear a new player's perspective as far as like getting lost in these areas and all of that good stuff. Now, he gets into a couple of key things that have to do with the sound. And while we can't hear the game because it's a lot of commentary in this video, he said it went from a 2-channel to a 7.1, which is a huge improvement for the presentation. He felt like this is such a compliment to the people who worked on that, and he's really excited about it. And I agree. And then he talked about these lovely ducks. And they did a big thing about this. And this is nothing that I'm not going to cover. I mean, this is promotions. They're working with the Argentins friends, aka the Guard Crows, and all of that good stuff. But yeah, let's get back to a couple of other things that are important in here that he talked about. And again, if you really want full coverage, I have a video covering the actual gameplay on my impressions that you might appreciate a little better. But I'm just reading what they were saying. The next topic that they talked about was the camo and how your rate is next to your life, as you could see. And then they talked, this is interesting stuff, by the way. This is stuff I did not bring up because I didn't know. Your rate changes and increases when you get dirty, right? And if you leave the dirt there, it dries up and falls off. And so that's just a little detail feature. And I knew that something was going to happen, but I didn't know they were going to make it realistic where like it gets dirt, usually mud gets hard and then it falls off. But he showcased and talked about the new feature where you're going to be able to swap your actual camo. And this is such a cool feature, guys. I'm telling you. Swap some camo and change your clothes. Cool. But guess what? If you have a bullet hole on that camo that you had, you're going to still have the bullet hole on there. No matter what. Yes, your wounds will heal because there's a healing system and there's a cure spot. But the actual clothing will still have that bullet hole. And it will remain throughout the whole game. And you'll still have scars as well, which we knew. But I'm interested to see how the clothing will end up for somebody who isn't a great player and they keep getting shot. So this has got to be something we're going to test right away just for laughs and for social media. It's funny. It's funny. And I think it's cool that they implemented it in this way where you're really going to get damaged. And for those that are not good at the game, you know, you're going to have bullet holes everywhere. I just thought that was funny and awesome at the same time. So, but yeah, being able to swap, and I did a breakdown on how fast you swap and how it does pause the game for a second, but it's literally split second. But the fact that you're able to do that is so cool. and amazing, in my opinion. And you just click a button, switch, and then you're done. And then he talked about the radio as well. You also can just quick call on the radio. And he said these are features that it was important to add to the new experience, because a lot of new players are going to play, plus even the older players should deserve what they want. And so that was a pretty awesome thing. I love it. I can't lie. And he talked about these, and they've been promoting this a little too heavy, I'm gonna be honest. The calorie mates is the main focus for the show, and they basically said there's different versions. So the one that Eve is holding is a different type from the one that Snake is holding, and it depends on everything. There's a cheese flavor is the one that you're going to be able to have in the game, and I believe it changes slightly depending on the legacy and the new style. So that is super interesting. It's nothing crazy, and it's nothing gameplay that's going to matter for us, I would assume. But yeah, the fact that they have that in there, pretty decent. And they talk about the food, which I think a lot of us know, but if you're new, it talked about the food that you can equip it and you're able to throw and lure enemies. If it's rotten food and they eat it, they're going to get poisoned, they're going to get sick, they're going to go to the bathroom. Things like that. It's fun things that you can do with the food. A lot of little tricks. And if you're new, you know, I'll have a video about that when the time comes. The original game has this as well, by the way. So it's nothing new that's implemented that's some magical, like, oh wow, I can't believe they did that, or anything like that. But what they did say is that there's a photo mode coming, and basically the way you hold the game, you can do it in here as well. And this photo mode is something that they're working on and implementing and wanting to make sure you guys have fun with it. And so a lot of amazing stuff when it comes to, so far, everything that they showcased and they talked about. That's pretty much the preview when it comes to the core of this experience. I definitely like it. I love it, to be honest. Excited for an actual demo where you can see the action part of it, the interactions with enemies and all of that good stuff. That's what I want. But showcasing the features and helping any veterans like myself know, like, oh, okay, this is what they meant by adding this new feature or doing something different. And so, hey, more power to them. And that is the translation when it comes to the gameplay segment. I'm gonna do another Tokyo Game Show video that's gonna break down all the rest of the translation that's nothing to do with the game, more so promotions and things like that, and the actual experience that people had for the demo and things like that. And that should be popping up on your screen. But before you go, again, make sure you leave a like if this was helpful information for you, and if you're excited for the game, go ahead and leave a comment. I'll try to get you guys as many copies as I can. The copies that I will give is determined by the success of this channel. So the higher and greater the channel gets with likes and views and comments, the more giveaways I'll do for everyone. So go ahead and leave that there. I'll see y'all soon on the next one. It should be popping up. All right. Peace.